Summer is coming up and I need you to lock in right now so that you can get in the best shape possible by then. So I'm going to show you a 6-step process to completely transform your physique in just 4 weeks. And if you start doing all of these today, you'll be turning heads at the beat. But if you miss just one of these steps, it'll completely ruin your progress, so pay very close attention. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment your current weight so you can come back during summer and see if you actually locked in. Now let's get into step number 1. Set a clear goal. You can't hit a target if you don't even know what it is. So before you do anything, you have to decide a clear fitness goal. You realistically have 3 options. Number 1 is to lose weight and fat. Number 2 is to bulk up and gain muscle. And number 3 is a body recomposition. And I'll tell you exactly what you have to do for each goal later on. But regardless of your goal, you have to make it specific. So instead of just saying, I want to get in shape, you say, I want to drop 10 pounds and gain muscle definition in 4 weeks. And whatever your specific goal is, make sure to write it down, whether it's on your phone or on a journal. Because the simple act of you writing down your goal makes it way more likely for you to actually act upon it. But having a goal is pointless if you don't fuel your body the right way and you don't eat accordingly to that goal. And that's step number 2. Eat accordingly to your goal. 80% of your results comes from what you eat. And so if your diet isn't aligned with your goal, you're basically wasting your time. And I don't want you to do that. So I'll break it down for each goal. For fat loss, you want to eat in a calorie deficit around 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. For building muscle, you want to eat in a slight calorie surplus, around 200 calories to 300 calories above your maintenance. And for a body recomposition, you want to eat exactly at your maintenance. Now, regardless of your goal, whether it's to cut down fat, build muscle, or a body recomposition, for the protein intake, you want to be eating 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So open up your calculator, write down your body weight in pounds. So for example, 150 pounds times 0.8, and this number is exactly how many grams of protein you need to eat every single day. Now for your fats, which are avocados, oils, this is for hormone regulation and overall health. Regardless of your goal, this should make up 20 to 30% of your total calories. But the carbs, however, these fluctuate depending on your goal. Now carbs allow for energy and performance, but they fatten you up a little bit and don't tend to fulfill you as much as protein will. So for fat loss, 30 to 40% of your total calories should be carb. For building muscle, 45% to 55% of your total calories should be carb. And for a body recomposition, 40 to 50% of your total calories should be carb. So for example, I'm 180 pounds. If I wanted to gain muscle, then I would eat 180 grams of protein, 250 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. But now that you know what you eat and you're eating the right way, the next step is making sure that your workouts align with your nutrition. And that's step number 3, build a sustainable workout routine. Most people fail because they do too much too fast, or they stick to a diet or a workout routine that's not sustainable. So you need a plan that's realistic, that's effective, but that's actually sustainable. So here's the breakdown of exactly what you need in your workout routine. Number 1 is to work out for 4 to 5 times a week maximum. This is because more doesn't always mean better. Intensity beats volume. And this is why the second point is important. Focus on progressive overload. As you get stronger and stronger week by week, you want to up the weight or the resistance to consistently challenge your muscle. So for example, if the first week you're benching 100 pounds for 12 reps being your failure point, but then by week 3 you're able to bench 100 pounds for 15 to 20 reps, that means you need to increase the weight on your bench press to bring it back to 10 to 12 reps, that being your failure point again. So whenever you train, you always want to train around 10 to 12 reps, and that being your failure point. As soon as the exercise becomes too easy, up the weight or up the resistance to bring that rep range back down to 10 to 12 reps where you're failing around there again. And if you do that, I promise you over time you will get some insane results. And the third point is planning for consistency, because the perfect plan you can't stick to is worthless. And I'll tell you exactly how you can stay consistent in a little bit. And when it comes to your workout routine, one thing a lot of people neglect or forget is your mobility and stretch. If your joints feel stiff, if your muscles feel tight, it's going to limit your performance. That's why Pliability exists, an app designed to improve flexibility, speed up recovery, and prevent injury. Whether you lift, you run, you play a certain sport, Pliability has mobility routines to get you fit in the right way. This feels good, but it hurts at the same time. So let's say I just hit a leg day. I'm going to go to lower body here and start this mobility routine. They're making jokes too.
On the left is showing the intermediate version of the poses.
No, I gotta get advanced. I gotta get all the way down. Hey, I'm advanced. I can also build my own mobility program by clicking build your program. Let's say I want to do mobility on Monday and Friday. Since I'm only doing 2 times a week, let's do 15 to 25 minutes. Let's do it for 3 weeks. I'll select the lower body. I need my upper back as well. That's been stiff. My shoulders and neck. I'm gonna do more passive. And just like that, I have a program tailored to me and exactly what I need for my mobility. I've never felt to stretch my glutes like that. I'm not gonna lie, I hate stretching, so I'm happy I found this app because it's gonna incentivize me to actually do mobility. If you want to move better, recover better, train better, then click the link in my my description to get pliability for 2 weeks completely free. I feel so much better. And once you have your workouts, your nutrition, and your mobility locked in, the next thing you have to do is track your progress. Most people think they're on track with their workouts or their nutrition until they step on the scale and they realize they got no progress at all. That's why it's super important to track your progress to see if you're on track or not, and then from there you can make adjustments accordingly. So here are the 3 things I want you to do. Number 1, take progress photos every week. Stepping on the scale doesn't tell the full story. You need a visual representation of your progress week by week. Number 2 is to log your workout. If you're lifting more weight or if you're adding more resistance, then that means you're progressing. It goes back to the point of progressive overload. Week by week, as you get stronger, you want to up the weight or up the resistance. And so whenever you do that, just make sure to log it. You can do it on your notes app. You can write it on a journal. So if you're benching 100 pounds the first week for 12 reps, and then the second week you're benching 120 pounds for 12 reps, write that progression down. And number 3 is to adjust if needed. If after a week or 2 your weight isn't changing at all, then that means you're doing something wrong with your calorie intake. And so if your goal is to lose fat, but week by week you're realizing that you're not losing weight at all, that probably means you need to cut down more calories. Same goes the other way around. If you're trying to gain weight and muscle, but you realize week by week you're not gaining any weight at all, then you're probably not eating enough calories and you need to up your calorie intake. But even if you track everything perfectly, you won't see any results if you don't allow your body to recover. And that's step number 5, optimize sleep and recovery. This is a secret weapon that no one talks about, your sleep. If your sleep is trash, your results will be too. So you want to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. You want to make sure your hydration is key. Every morning when you wake up, the first thing you should be touching your water bottle. Drink your water. This will optimize your energy levels and your appetite. And lastly, have your rest days. At the beginning, I told you want to work out for 4 to 5 days a week maximum. This is because you want to have 2 to 3 rest days every single week. And on your rest days, I'm not telling you to sit on the couch and do nothing at all. On those rest days, you want to do low impact cardio. So get your steps in, go for a walk, go for a hike, go for a bike ride. But even if you eat well, you train, you track your progress, you recover properly, nothing will matter unless you stay consistent with it. And that is step number 6, exposure and consistency. The only way you will transform your body is through consistent action, doing the same thing consistently over time. Because you can be dialed in for a day or 2, then do nothing for a week, and then nothing will matter. So here are 3 things I want you to remember. Number 1, exposure leads to mastery. The more reps you put in, the better you get. And when I say reps, I don't only mean reps in the gym with your exercises. I mean the consistent action of doing the same thing every single day. Putting the reps in with your calorie intake, putting the reps in with your protein intake, putting the reps in with your recovery, and staying consistent to that every single day, every single week. Number 2, this one is super important. Discipline beats motivation. Because motivation fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. But habits is what keeps you going. And to have discipline, you need to have a strong why, a strong reason as to why it is you're doing what it is you're doing. Why do you want to get in shape? Is it because you've been insecure your whole life and you finally want to get in shape? Is it because you lack energy and you want to feel more energized? Is it because you want to turn heads at the beach and be more attractive? Whatever your why, whatever your reason might be, write that down and have that be your driving factor as to why it is you stay consistent. And number 3, trust the process. Because you won't see results after your first workout, after your first 2 workouts, after your first 5 workouts, but after you start doing it for weeks on end, then you'll start seeing the real results. So again, I want you to comment down below your current weight. This way you actually lock it in and you can come back during summer to see if you stay true to your promise or if you lied to yourself. Make sure to like, subscribe. I want to see all the amazing physiques by summer, and I will see you in the next video.